High atop an isolated rock plateau in the Judean desert, the ancient fortress of Masada stands as a silent witness to one of history's most dramatic stories of resistance, courage, and sacrifice. This is the tale of the Jewish Zealots who defied the mighty Roman Empire in a final act of defiance. It was the year 73 CE, and the Roman Empire was at the height of its power. The Jewish revolt against Roman rule had been crushed after years of brutal fighting, and Jerusalem, along with its sacred temple, lay in ruins. Yet, a small group of rebels, around 960 men, women, and children, had fled to Masada, a nearly impregnable fortress built decades earlier by King Herod the Great. Masada was a marvel of engineering. Its steep cliffs made it almost impossible to climb, and its storage rooms, filled with food and water, allowed for long-term survival. But as winter turned to spring, the Romans, led by General Flavius Silva, arrived with their 10th legion, determined to crush the last vestige of rebellion. The Romans, numbering in the thousands, were masters of siege warfare. They surrounded the fortress and began constructing a massive ramp on the western side of the plateau. Day after day, the rebels watched from the walls as the ramp grew higher, inching closer to the fortress. The rebels knew their time was running out. Inside the fortress, the Zealots were led by Ben-Yair, a man of unyielding resolve. He gathered his people and spoke words that would echo through history: "Death is preferable to slavery. Let us die free, rather than live as captives under Rome's yoke." As the Roman battering ram approached the walls, Eleazar and his followers made a heart-wrenching decision. They would not allow themselves or their families to be captured, enslaved, or killed by the Romans. Instead, they would take their own lives in an act of collective defiance. That night, the men of Masada carried out the grim task. Each man killed his own family before being chosen by lot to end the lives of his comrades. The final man took his own life, ensuring that when the Romans breached the walls, they would find only silence. When the Romans entered Masada the next morning, they were met with an eerie sight. The fortress was intact, the supplies untouched, but the inhabitants were gone. Only 2 women and 5 children, who had hidden in a cave, survived to tell the tale. The siege of Masada has become a powerful symbol of resistance and freedom. For centuries, it was largely forgotten, but in modern times, Masada has been rediscovered as a testament to the indomitable human spirit. Today, it stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a place of pilgrimage for those seeking to understand the depths of courage in the face of oppression.